Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news. As I said last night, we are sponsored by the Unibet vlog on these transfer shows. Fantastic articles on there. I mentioned one yesterday about Paul Pogba and how he needs to become Manchester United's Roy Keane, written by Andy Mitten. The link's in the video description, but there's breaking news on there all the time with the Unibet vlog. The link is in the video description. Get yourself over there because I think there is going to be a lot of breaking news with Manchester United over the next few days. And as Paul Taylor says, apparently Leicester want 90 million. Harry Maguire at the moment, as we understand it, I said something on, when was it I said it? I said it on Saturday or Sunday that I'd been told that Manchester United would get the deal done with Harry Maguire on Monday, medical Tuesday, announcement on Wednesday. Look, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But there definitely seemed to be some progress with Harry Maguire yesterday because his agent was even apparently pictured at Carrington. But people like Dimarcio are saying done deal. A lot of people are saying a done deal. So look, fantastic news that that deal looks like it's going to get done. Obviously, we don't know whether Harry Maguire's turned up for training this morning. He didn't yesterday, and there is this belief that he will, that he is being priced out of a move to Manchester United because of unrealistic expectations. Dybala we're going to talk about now, Aris as well, Farisaj. There is a watch along tonight. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff UK time in Norway. Flex is there. He's going to be doing fan cams. If you're over there, hunt him down and get yourself on a fan cam tonight. We do have a watch along tonight. All I'd say is keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be very, very, very good. Apologies for the stream last night. It does cut out a little bit. I am actually on vacation or holidays, you would call it, and there's something wrong with this app. I've tried it on 2 different phones and it does cut out a little bit soon on some streams. So if that ever happens, it normally happens around 20 minutes. You know why it's happening. I've not been caught by the pineapple seller. But announced Slabhead says Kartike. Let's talk about Dybala first because I think this is very, very interested. The Highbury FC Sol, you got me suspended. Oh dear. I don't. We don't report anybody, so I don't know what you're on about. Certainly not on Twitter. There's a block button or a mute button. I ain't got time to go and do Twitter reports. So look, let's talk about Dybala because this is coming again from Sky Italia. It's coming a little bit from Dimarcio. Thogden's in the chat. I thought I'd seen him. Big shout out to Thogden. So Dybala is coming a little bit from comments from from Nedved, who's involved with the Juventus, a former very good player of Czechoslovakia and Juventus. And what they're basically saying is that they haven't had official bids for Dybala yet, although there is interest. And there's these rumours that Juventus may do a deal with Manchester United for Lukaku, and it would be around. And I don't know what you lot think about this, because I think it would impact on the Bruno Fernandes deal. I don't think we'll get Bruno Fernandes if we get Paulo Dybala, but I think if you get Dybala's good mates with Pogba. Does that make Pogba think I'll stay for another year? And it swings and roundabouts, I suppose. I want Bruno Fernandes. I think he's perfect for Manchester United, and I think what happens with Pogba happens with Pogba. But what they're basically saying is that Juventus can afford the Lukaku deal. Inter Milan want Lukaku, but are struggling to pay the money. The veteran trainer 88 says, I'm so tired of this transfer window, I'm going to sleep and wake up on the 8th. You haven't got that long to wait, the veteran trainer. But with regards to Lukaku then, so what would the deal involve with Juventus? Well, they're talking about a straight swap for Dybala and for Lukaku, but we'd have to pay 20 million on top of that because they value Dybala at 100 million, which is probably about right, and we value Lukaku at about 80 million. So, look, to be honest with you, I think that would be about right. I think if you were interested in that deal, I think it would be about right to do that. I think Lukaku plus 80 million is probably about right. I do. I agree. I think it is. Trying to get you a better bit of lighting this morning. The lighting's not great. That's much better. That's better, isn't it? So yeah, I think Lukaku for you're not going to like the background of that, though, are you? So Lukaku plus 20 million would get you Dybala, apparently. Thogden says, "Love you, fella. Love you back, mate. Love you back." I'll tell you what, the time we could be having on this balcony, the love. But seriously, yeah. So 20 million plus Lukaku to Juventus, and people are saying, "Well, Juventus wouldn't want Lukaku," but Lukaku is a player that if you give him chances in the box, he'll score you 30 to 40 goals a season. Look at how many goals he scores for Belgium with the likes of Hazard and De Bruyne around him. And you put him in that Juventus team, he'll score a load of goals. Look, Lukaku's got no first touch. And Lukaku is a flat track bully who can't do things on his own. However, you put him in a Juventus team or a Belgium team, he'll score goals. I don't think any, I called him, he's the bird box challenge, isn't he? Outside the box, he's running around with a bloody blindfold on. As soon as he's in the box, the blindfold comes off and he's actually a big threat. So I could see exactly why they would be interested in him. My concern is if we go for Dybala, we don't go for Fernandes. And I think people will say, oh, you've said all summer that we're going to sign Bruno Fernandes. I have said that. But what you've got to remember is, and Lukaku's very pertinent, we wanted Morata 2 summers ago. and we spent a lot of time going for Morata, and then the deal couldn't get over because Real Madrid were being arseholes. And then suddenly we phone up Mino Raiola and say, have you sorted out the Lukaku Chelsea deal? Not quite. Would Lukaku come to United? We've got a pot of gold. Of course they will. We're on our way. You get the pizzas in. And that's what happened with that. So with regards to Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes, I think Bruno Fernandes is a player that United have been tracking all summer. But it could be at the very last minute, this Lukaku deal where they thought they were selling him to Inter, they suddenly see this opportunity to sell him to get Dybala and not go for Bruno Fernandes as a late change. Those things can happen. It's whether you want it to happen or not. I would love to see Ronaldo get pissed off at Lukaku, says Sebastian Anderson. I know. I'm just going to have a quick look if that's my lad. No, it really doesn't sound like he's... No, it's not. Someone in a little stupid blue hat. Yeah, so look, for me, it would always be Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire as the next two signings for United. I think Longstaff's going to be very hard to happen, and I would agree with Katake Kana that Longstaff's going to be very, very hard to happen because, you know, Steve Bruce has said he doesn't want to sell, and now Mike Ashley's saying he doesn't want to sell. So I think unless United want to pay ridiculous money for a player who's played for 9 games, no. Dipalian Pandaka, thank you for the contribution there. Those who are joining us a little bit late, remember that we were just talking there, Harry Maguire. There's definitely movement on that. If you want to know when an announcement's going to be, I think tomorrow, although they might do something this afternoon just around the game, if that makes any sense, but I think it'll be tomorrow. Sarab Chowdhury says, Mark, don't you think Dybala is more of a luxury player? Look, I think that's a very good point there. With regards to Dybala, I like him. Juventus are my favourite Italian team. I've always watched Italian football since Italia 90. I like Dybala, but I have been very consistent in saying, look, he's a player that I like, but is he consistent? No. Does he worry me in the Premier League? Yes, he's not the quickest player. And you know, the Premier League is very tenacious, it's very fast, and I don't know whether that will work. There is a watch-along, Faizan. Join us at about 5:30 UK time. There is a watch-along tonight. It's the United stand. Dybala is lazy, says Chemo. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes' ship is still there. It's this one, isn't it? It was that one. It's still there. It can still happen. It can still happen. Bruno's better than Dybala, says Man United. I would agree with that. Does Dybala even want to come? Dybala is a tip of a diamond behind Martial and Rashford, says One United Nation. Yes, well, that's an important thing. Look, if Dybala did come very quickly, you'd probably play Pogba and McTominay as a midfield two, with Dybala ahead of those two, and then 3 in front. Or you could play a diamond midfield 4 with Dybala behind 2 strikers. But yeah, look, of course he could work. And to be honest with you, if Inter Milan can't afford Lukaku, I don't blame United paying 20 million to Juventus and getting Dybala and giving them Lukaku. I don't mind United doing that if that's the scenario. I don't mind that happening. I don't think anybody should do. So yeah, nothing really to report on Bruno Fernandes. There are some reports from Portuguese press that Sporting Lisbon are playing a game against Benfica on Sunday, and they want Bruno Fernandes to play that game. To be honest with you, I think if Bruno Fernandes is coming to Manchester United, we're not looking at any time before the end of this week. I think we're looking weekend, probably into next week, and a frenetic last 4 days. But yeah, so I'm not sort of seeing anything about that. I haven't seen Troops' tweets or anything like that. I saw one yesterday. I mean, what I would say about the Arsenal fans, but they're going through my old tweets where I'm talking. Basically, I don't watch Arsenal transfer news. I'm not interested. So what I said is, Arsenal are no threat. They can't afford anybody. They've only got £40 million transfer fee. That's because I've seen people like Robbie and Troops and everybody moaning about how they've got no money for the last 10 years. They then go and spend money, and then they have a pop at me for saying they've got no money. But I'm listening to them. It's their story telling me they've got no money. So I don't really care if you've got money or not. You're the ones who've bloody been moaning about it, and now you've got your bloody pancakes out and you're flip-flopping. Steve Oku says, hi Mark, I hope you and your family are having a great holiday. I love our channel and keep up the good work. Thanks. Yes, Steve. Well, the relevant thing is they said our channel because it is your channel. Is there a place for number 10 like Dybala in volleyball, says Depian Pandaka? I don't know. I think he would be a bit of a luxury player. How can you say that Bruno's better than Dybala? Bruno went to Italy and failed. Dybala has worked great in Italy. Bruno not proven in any big league, says Rohan Goal. I think you basically need to go and research Bruno Fernandes' background, because he did go to Italy. It was his formative years and he didn't do badly at all. So yeah, he's doing absolutely fine. A lot of people are saying that they've lost the stream. I'm absolutely fine, but I better be careful in case it is going to start cutting out. It's fine for me. Remember the link in the video description for the Unibet vlog. Very good article on Pogba and Roy Keane in there, if we're going to keep Pogba. But they've got breaking news as well. They are sponsoring us for the next week or so of the last bit of the transfer window. So the link's in the video description for the Unibet vlog, and give it a go and give it a read, because they've got some breaking news on there. And obviously clicking the link helps our channel, helps us bring you this sort of content here as well. As for the game tonight in Norway, doesn't mean a hell of a lot to me, if I'm totally honest with you. I think that it's an interesting game from a getting a bit of fitness in, but actually it's the weakest game of our pre-season games when you think about it. You know, I thought that the Inter Milan and the Leeds game and the Spurs game especially was very, very good in relation to a workout. I think AC Milan on Saturday will be an interesting game, but I think tonight it's hard to gauge, because they're a Norwegian side. I think they're about 7th in their league. Molde are top. I think United would dominate Molde if they played them. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Refresh your streams, everybody. Look, I can apologise for the quality of the streams out here, but they're holiday streams. It's not, you know, if this was me back in the studio, I could do something about it, but I'm doing this off a phone. So Dybala can play right wing as well, says Ollie's at the wheel. He can do, but he's not the quickest player, remember that. So look, that's where we are with the latest Manchester United transfer news at the moment. Maguire is ticking along. Maybe he's being priced out of the move, but I think he will get the move. He's starting to get frustrated and force the move himself. There's talk that Inter can't afford Lukaku, so United are looking at Juventus swap plus 20 million for Dybala. I think if they do that, that'll be the end of the Bruno Fernandes deal. Pogba, it's very quiet. You've got to presume he's staying, but is anything going to happen in the last week or so? I think United are going to have a very busy next week, or a very ridiculously quiet week next week. Solskjaer's son's playing tonight, so Sebastian Anderson, and we also had a super chat there from Mr. Beast. Scared we won't sign anyone. If we get Bruno and Maguire, it'll be an okay window, but we won't progress with Glazers and Ed in power. There is a watch along tonight. Make sure you're joining us for that one. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Smash a like on the video, and also go and give that article a read for me, the Unibet vlog about Paul Pogba and Andy Mitten. Be doing us a favour. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll speak to you later on the watch along, unless something else breaks. Have a good day. That's much better, that is. That angle is much better. Although it's going up my nose, but the background's not as good. Look at the wrinkles. Look at those wrinkles.